Lewis Hamilton's move to Ferrari was expected to be one of the most powerful moments in Formula One history. A seven-time world champion joining the most famous team in the sport was something that fans and experts around the world had been dreaming of for years. Hamilton wearing the red suit of Ferrari was not just a transfer, it was meant to be a story of redemption. He came in chasing his 8th world title, something that would break all records and give him a place in the sport's history books forever. But just 9 races into the 2025 season, that dream seems to be slipping away. The Italian press, always known for their strong opinions, has already turned against him. They are calling this move a failure and saying that the team is in full crisis. In Barcelona, one of the most important races of the season so far, Hamilton finished almost a full minute behind the leaders. Even worse, he was overtaken by Nico Hülkenberg in a customer Sauber. It was a painful and very public moment of embarrassment for someone of Hamilton's level. And now the whispers in the Ferrari garage have grown louder. People are asking whether Ferrari overpromised what they could deliver, or if Hamilton didn't realize how deep Ferrari's problems truly were. What looked like a bold move at the start of the year is now beginning to look like a cautionary tale. But the situation is not as simple as it appears from the outside. Beneath the surface, this story is far more complex. It's not just about car performance or results on the track. There are confusing setup issues, technical upgrades that haven't worked as planned, and a growing culture clash between a British racing icon and an old traditional Italian team. This is not just a fight for wins or podiums, this is a battle. For influence, for power, and for Hamilton's legacy in the sport. And now the cracks in this relationship are beginning to show. Barcelona was supposed to be a fresh start. Ferrari brought a new floor, a revised suspension, and wind tunnel, data that promised real progress. But during practice sessions, the car actually performed worse than before. Hamilton immediately started to feel a lack of confidence. In the race, the car showed serious instability at the rear. He couldn't accelerate out of corners properly. Then came a message on the radio that told the real story. Something is wrong with this car. The team's data showed that the rear tires were not heating up to the right temperature. The car had no mechanical grip. It was swinging wildly between understeer and snap oversteer. For a driver like Hamilton, who depends on a car that flows smoothly and remains stable at the rear, this was a nightmare. But why is this happening? Insiders believe the problem goes deeper than just bad luck or a few wrong setup choices. Ferrari's suspension system seems to work well only on smooth circuits. On tougher tracks like Barcelona, it falls apart. Hamilton's driving style, known for being clean, sharp and flowing, actually makes this issue worse. The more he pushes to find lap time, the more the car fights against him. The SF25 becomes an enemy instead of a partner. Each message on the radio tells the same story: frustration, confusion, and a car that won't cooperate. Inside Ferrari, meetings are being held regularly. Engineers are working overtime trying to find solutions, but they're facing a difficult truth. Some problems can't be fixed with a software update or a new setup. If the car is flawed at the design level, no amount of fine-tuning will change that. And that's where things start to get even more complicated. In the middle of all this, there's Charles Leclerc, the team's golden boy. He's younger, faster in qualifying, and more at home with the SF25's strange behavior. He's already scored 3 podiums this season, while Hamilton has none. While the team says both drivers are equal, the facts suggest otherwise. In Barcelona, Leclerc got the better strategy. In Monaco, he received the upgrades first. And in Imola, a split strategy caused confusion on Hamilton's side. Is this just bad luck, or is Leclerc being favored? Some analysts believe the answer is clear. Dutch expert Tim Coronel said it directly. Hamilton is already the number 2 driver at Ferrari. Team sources talk about growing divisions inside the garage. One engineer reportedly said, "We built this car for Charles, now Lewis must adapt to it." That kind of thinking shows just how serious the situation is. Hamilton is fighting not just the car, but the environment around him. Off the track, things aren't much better. The British media is starting to question his decision to leave Mercedes. The Italian press is becoming more critical with each race. Meanwhile, Leclerc continues to shine. He's fluent in Italian, understands the team's culture, and feels at home. Hamilton, on the other hand, is finding things very different from what he expected. He came in expecting teamwork, clear communication, and open-minded development. Instead, he has found a team split by old habits and internal politics. Some engineers want to innovate. Others are stuck in the past. Even the simulator program, something Hamilton used to rely on at Mercedes, is causing problems at Ferrari. The team often ignores simulator feedback and makes decisions based on other factors. One source said it best: at Ferrari, decisions are made over espresso, not telemetry. Hamilton has always been a professional. He remains calm in interviews, speaks carefully, and never blames others. But behind the scenes, it's clear he feels out of place. Each team meeting is not just a technical discussion, it's a test of culture, language, and patience. The big question is whether someone like Hamilton can truly become part of Ferrari's soul, or whether this gap is too wide to bridge. In the world of Formula One, what people see and hear often matters more than what actually happens. And right now, the message from Hamilton's side of the garage is one of disorder. It started small, unexplained problems with grip in Miami. Then came the Barcelona floor damage, blamed on a curb, but never fully explained. Then the worst moment, his disqualification in China for excessive plank wear. That kind of mistake is basic and usually easy to avoid. But it happened only to Hamilton's car. Officially, it was blamed on track bumps or a setup mistake. But insiders are asking harder questions. Why was Hamilton's car running such a risky setup? Why wasn't the floor tested properly before the race? One insider said it clearly: too many moving parts, too little coordination. Ferrari boss Fred Vasseur has defended Hamilton in public. He says the team wins and loses together. But inside the team, things may not be so united. Some mechanics have worked with Leclerc for years. Others are unsure about Hamilton's style and demands. The result is a team that is not fully pulling in the same direction. And for Hamilton, who depends on precision and teamwork, this is a major problem. Now, another issue is starting to worry people. Has Ferrari already given up on 2025? Some fear the team is focusing too much on the future, on the 2026 car, and not doing enough to help Hamilton this year. That would leave him stuck with a car that can't win, in a team that is already looking ahead. And just when things couldn't get any more intense, former Ferrari boss Mattia Binotto stepped in. He said what many were already thinking. Hamilton joined too late. He's at the end of his career. Those words hit like a bomb. To some, they sounded like honesty. To others, it was a way of attacking the current team leadership. Binotto left Ferrari during a time of chaos. He was replaced by Vasseur, the same man who brought in Hamilton. Was Binotto trying to make a point? Even if his timing was questionable, Binotto may have a point. In 2026, F1 will change completely. New rules, new engines, and new opportunities. Hamilton's contract is focused on this year and next. If Ferrari is already looking to 2026, is Hamilton being left behind? Sources say he is already trying to have input on the 2026 car. But here's the problem: Ferrari's engineering leadership is divided. If they can't work together, even a great driver like Hamilton won't be able to make a difference. Binotto's warning raises a scary possibility. What if Hamilton was brought in just for marketing? What if he was never meant to be a long-term part of Ferrari's plan? But even in the middle of all this chaos, Hamilton continues to fight. David Coulthard recently said that Lewis looks punch-drunk, like someone who's been hit too many times. But in Barcelona, there were moments that showed Hamilton still has something left. In some race stints, he matched Leclerc's pace. His tyre management was excellent, something